The worst I hate to break it to you moment you had with someone? My roommate Jake was convinced he was getting accepted into medical school. For 8 months, he acted like he was already a doctor, correcting people about health stuff and name-dropping anatomy terms in casual conversation. The thing is, Jake barely passed organic chemistry and his MCAT score was terrible, but he'd applied to one school, Harvard Medical, because why settle for less? He started buying scrubs for when I start clinicals and changed his Instagram bio to Future MD. During parties, he'd diagnose people's headaches and give unsolicited medical advice. When people got annoyed, he'd say, "You'll thank me when I'm your doctor." The worst part was how he treated my girlfriend Emma, who's actually a nursing student. Every time she mentioned anything medical, Jake would interrupt with, "Well, actually," and explain basic concepts she already knew. When she'd correct him, he'd smile condescendingly and say, "We'll see who's right in a few years." Jake's delusion reached insane levels. He bought a stethoscope and carried it around campus to practice. He started wearing reading glasses he didn't need because it made him look more doctor-like. He even changed his Spotify playlist to classical music because doctors are sophisticated. At restaurants, he'd analyze the menu and lecture us about nutritional content. "As a future physician, I have to say this pasta is basically poison," he'd announced to strangers at nearby tables. The secondhand embarrassment was unbearable. He started studying for his non-existent classes, buying Harvard medical textbooks that cost him hundreds of dollars. His room looked like a medical supply store. Anatomy posters, pill organizers, even a fake skeleton he named Dr. Bones. The most ridiculous part was when he bought a white coat online and wore it to study sessions at the library. He'd sit there highlighting random passages, making sure everyone could see the Harvard medical patch he'd sewn on himself. Jake created fake study groups, posting on social media about med school prep sessions that were just him reading WebMD articles out loud. He started carrying around thick medical journals, so I caught him reading them upside down once. He began practicing medical procedures on fruit. I'd come home to find him performing surgery on oranges with kitchen knives, narrating every cut like he was teaching medical students. He filmed these sessions for his future reference. Jake spent weeks planning his acceptance celebration. He researched Boston apartments, calculating how much his future doctor salary would afford him. He bought a Harvard medical sweatshirt that he wore constantly, even to bed. He practiced his thank you speech for when he'd call his parents with the good news. He started networking with people he claimed were future colleagues, which turned out to be random pre-med students who humored his delusions. He'd name-drop these connections constantly, saying things like, "My Harvard classmate thinks," about people he'd met once. The most cringe moment was when he started introducing himself as Jake pre-med Harvard at parties. People would ask what year he was, and he'd say, "Starting this fall," with complete confidence. He even ordered business cards with Harvard medical student printed on them. He scheduled the party for the day acceptance letters typically arrived. He bought champagne, ordered catering from the fanciest place in town, and invited everyone we knew. He rented a projector to display his acceptance letter for everyone to see. Jake decorated our apartment with red balloons and Harvard banners. He made a playlist called Future Doctor Celebration and practiced his acceptance speech in the mirror for hours. He kept checking his email every 5 minutes, getting more excited with each refresh. "This is it," he kept saying. "My whole life is about to change. I can feel it." The morning of the party, Jake put on his best suit and sat at his laptop, refreshing his email obsessively. Friends started arriving early. Awkward